Hey guys, how's it going? Michael Troy here. Today we are looking at Frank Miller Presents Frank Miller's Pandora, illustrated by Emma Kubert. Another exciting addition to the new Frank Miller Presents line of comics that I cannot wait to share with you guys. So subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button and let's get right into it. This is such a fun book. I just recently covered Ronin 2 #1 by Frank Miller and Philip Tan from Frank Miller Presents. And this is so cool. I sort of knew there was like new Frank Miller comics coming. I wasn't completely sure, but then, I don't know, it just sort of hit the ground running and it is so good. I'm so excited about it. Frank Miller, you know, doing a bunch of books from the Frank Miller universe, I guess. Some old properties. Soon Sin City will be coming. Ronin has seen the light of day. I believe Pandora here is new, working with a bunch of great artists and writers. Dan DiDio, former head of DC Comics, is publisher here and I guess like editor-in-chief and like, you know, Frank's right-hand man, and obviously doing a great job. These books look amazing. The talent pool is incredible. Frank is writing. This one's exciting because Emma Kubert is Andy Kubert's daughter, Adam Kubert's nephew, and, niece, forgive me, and Joe Kubert's granddaughter. And I was watching an interview and she pointed out that Frank Miller said that the Kuberts are the only dynasty working in comic books, and that's pretty freaking amazing. I mean, what a great legacy there, right? And I love her art. I've been following her for a while on social media. I haven't actually picked anything up yet, concrete, but I guess she went to her family's famous school and learned her comic book chops, and she's got a lot of great talent. Look at this beautiful cover. It's giving me like Charles Vess, Mike W. Kaluta vibes. It's like a fun fantasy. I feel like it's kind of like an all ages kind of like Harry Potter kind of like adventure. Frank Miller, president and editor-in-chief, Dan DiDio, publisher, Silan Thomas, COO. The art, you know, it's funny because, you know, how do you feel about the Kuberts, right? Like Joe Kubert, Adam Kubert, Andy Kubert, you know, Joe's a legend, Sergeant Rock, you know, the Kubert School. His son broke into comics like at 13 and 14 lettering, and then became inkers, and you know, went on to X-Men, Wolverine, you know, Batman, just like all kinds of fame. And so now here comes Emma, and it's so great to see like, you know, such great artists carry on the legacy to their children and see them come into their own. And look at how beautiful the art is. And I guess Emma is coloring it as well. Great fantasy style here. The inking and the storytelling are really beautiful. And I have to say, I do see like a little bit of the Kubert family influence underlying. I mean, she's very much her own artist, you know, because a lot of this is giving me, I couldn't help but reminded. Well, I have to say these first few opening pages are just like beautifully illustrated and colored, and like I almost feel like I'm watching Avatar. Like it's so beautiful. Like the cinematography and the color palette are just like really gorgeous. And combined, but it's so funny, it's so unmistakably Frank Miller. And I'm wondering, I didn't say that he did the layouts and the credits here, but I'm curious to know if he did, because it's very common for him to do that. But his beats are still here as a writer. I said it before in the Ronin video, and I said it in other Frank Miller videos that I've covered, that, you know, he thinks musically and he writes in beats. And once you know that, you can definitely sense it and feel it and see it in the pacing of the stories he tells. And once again, with the Philip Tan art that I totally loved, but leaves you, I mean, God knows, you know, Frank hasn't like drawn a full comic book in a long time. Gosh, was it Holy Terror? Let's hope not, I don't know. But anyway, we've got more coming. The looming fabled Sin City Wild West that I cannot wait to see, that you know is gonna be groundbreaking, life-changing, and just epic. But like panels like this, can't you just see the Frank Miller there? Like I want to see this in black and white because I always want to see art in black and white. But I can just sort of see that it has Frank Miller written all over it. And interestingly enough, in an interview with Dan DiDio, whom I'm supposed to interview in the next year in 2023, got a lot of great interviews lined up, and Dan DiDio is one of them. But he said, you know, in another video talking about the artists working with Frank, and God, what an amazing experience it would be for any artist to work with Frank Miller. But, you know, an artist can sometimes change their style to fit the mentor or the writer or the collaborator that they're working with. So in a lot of ways, they have pared down their styles because you don't work with a master like Frank Miller and not pick up a few tricks of the trade. What a great establishing shot that is. I love this house. That looks so cool. Great. See, and it's so nice to see this because I feel like this is something that's being lost a little bit, because I appreciate the fact that she's doing the coloring and the art as well. Because, you know, we have all the benefits of the great coloring effects, but we have all the great artistry of the drawing a house with a pickup truck in the driveway and the storytelling and the trees. It just looks really great. I really love this art. And here we get the protagonist, and I really like her, Annabeth. You know, it's a fun story. I mean, it's just very relatable. It's very, I mean, what a great page this is. I feel like this sort of sets you up to let you know kind of like the fun adventure world you're going to be getting into with this fun character with beautiful bright red hair. I love it. That might have been intentional, because I think Emma is a redhead, so maybe there was a little nod to her in there. I'm not sure. But she lives in this house with her mother who like rents out to boarders, and they're kind of kooky. I kind of like that aspect. It's going to be introducing some fun characters. Once again, can you just not see the creepy like Frank Miller version of this in your head? I see that's the amazingness of a project like this, and I think that's shows how they've done it so well. I mean, Frank can't draw everything, but I feel like the essence of Frank is just here. You know what I mean? It's like it's Frank Miller Presents, and you definitely feel as if like he produced it or he directed it or he wrote it or whatever, and which he did write it, and it just feels like a Frank Miller production. So job well done there. You know, I feel like sometimes you can slap somebody's name on something and have it be sort of just like a figurehead in a lot of ways, but Frank's presence feels definitely here on every page. It's funny because I feel like there's like a real shift in some of the art and coloring. Like we go from this crazy beautiful fantasy land to more of this almost manga-esque kind of like comic book adventure with this protagonist. And some of the art is reminding me a little bit of like early computer coloring or early manga, or, you know, somebody just like using Photoshop airbrush technique a little bit, but done at a very like high level of quality. So I just think it looks amazing. And it's $7.99. These comics are not cheap, but totally worth it. You know what I mean? You know, it's like I lament the price of comics, but it's big. It's an event comic. It's Frank Miller. The art is gorgeous. The quality is next level. I like the fact that it feels very like really artsy in a way. Like it's not perfect. Like some of the little lines here are a little longer and stuff like that. And I appreciate that aspect about it. But like I said, I'm not buying like 10 comics a week like I did when I was 12. Because frankly, I'd love if there were 12 comics worth buying a week, but I don't know, they come out more sporadically. So who knows how often this is going to come out, but I'd rather pay $8 for like a big, amazing, fun comic book that I'm going to love like this than $4 for something that I feel like I feel obligated to read because I've been reading it for, you know, 20 plus years or whatever. But the Frank Miller Presents universe is alive and well and off and running to a great start. I mean, this is a beautiful book. I'm so excited for Emma Kubert. I think that is so amazing to be part of the Kubert dynasty and to be able to be part of an important project and really make your mark on something so special. Beautiful double page spread there. Just really fun, a transportational, like, comic book. I don't know. It's just a fun story. I just thought the pacing was really good. Of course, the pacing's going to be good. I mean, it's Frank Miller writing. You know, but I mean, as much as I love Frank Miller, I'm not going to give him just a free pass that everything he does is amazing. Although I haven't unenjoyed anything I've ever written by him. But still, you know what I mean? Still going to be harsh. Once again, creepy. I almost see like a little bit of Rob Liefeld's art in this face too, with the crazy teeth and stuff. But yeah. And we're off for an adventure. Created by Frank Miller, art and colors by Emma Kubert, written by Frank Miller, Anthony Moranville, and Chris Silvestri, lettered and edited by Pete Carlson. And book 2, the story continues, on sale February 15th. Well, I guess that's not so far to wait. I cannot wait to see where this whole line goes. I'm going to pick up every single book from this Frank Miller Presents, and I feel you should too. I cannot wait to see what's next. I think these are great quality books. Like I said, I have an interview with Dan DiDio, so hopefully we'll get to... he'll get to share some fun stuff with me about the direction of the company and all these fun books and the great talent pool he's got going. And I just think that in the comic landscape, I'm so happy to see this. You know, it feels like a fresh, great surprise. I didn't really know where Frank Miller was going with his career in recent years. And possibly neither did he. I don't know. But I'm so glad it landed here. And this is another new, exciting chapter for Frank Miller and Frank Miller fans alike. So thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button and I will bring you more later.